اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillah, in the previous session we introduced all of you to fi'al, and inshallah in this session we're going to continue a journey to understand the fi'al, the basic form. Like a usual practice, let's first get our pronouns practiced nicely. So if you can repeat with me, inshallah, that would be good. Huwa, huma, hum. Hiya, huma, hunna. Anta, antuma, antum. Anti, antuma, antunna. Ana, nahnu. Huwa, huma, hum. Hiya, huma, hunna. Anta, antuma, antum. Anti, antuma, antunna. Ana, nahnu. So just keep this sequence in mind, inshallah. So coming to the verbs. So we did in the last session huwa, dhahaba. Dhahaba in the pure form, it represents huwa. And we did zahaba, the sign of dual, that's alif, alif muthanna is attached to the verb. In the zahaba, the sign of huwa is not at all attached. That's a pure three letters. That's why it is called mustatir. That means the hidden, the pronoun is hidden, but it is understood as huwa. Zahaba means we can actually see the sign that there are two people have gone, went. Hum zahabu, the waw tells us that all those men have left, and the sign is waw, and the sound is u, zahabu, and this alif is the writing rule. And here, zahabat, this is also pure verb form. This is not a part of the pronoun, but it's just that to show that is a feminine verb, that is done, action done by a lady. Huma means two feminine ladies or objects. Zahabata, so zahabat plus alif is zahabata. So if in this all this verb, if you see, it represents a pronoun which is called a fa'il, that's a doer. So what are these pronouns which they represent? We have done previously that these verbs have a sign of a detached pronoun. And what is this detached pronoun called as? Damirun munfasilun. So we know that all detached pronouns are definite, and that all detached pronouns are marfu. That's why what we say is the fa'il, which the detached pronouns is being represented, is always marfu. So in zahaba, so who is the person who is leaving? He. That's a huwa. So that is the fa'il. Huwa zahaba. So the subject or the doer of the action is marfu, and that is called a fa'il, and the fa'il is always marfu. If you see in this segment here, in every verb which represents, there is a sign of fa'il. This alif is called the fa'il, because this tells us that the two people have done the action. This waw tells us that all the men have done the action. This alif tells us that ta and alif tells us the two women. In this is called a sign of fa'il. We can see the fa'il attached to the verb. However, if you see in zahaba and zahabat, in these two forms, there is no physical sign of huwa attached to the verb. The verb is pure. Here, there is no physical sign of here. The verb is pure. This ta is called ta'u tanisi. So this huwa and hiya are hidden within the verb. So we understand automatically zahaba means huwa zahaba. But however, there are another way of identifying the fa'il in these two forms of verbs. That is what we're going to learn now, inshallah. So one way is to estimating that it has been done by huwa and hiya. The other way is to look for the name of the person or object or the noun which that huwa represents. Let me give you an example so you can understand better, inshallah. So let's see. So if I am telling Ahmadu ذهب إلى الجامعة. So let's analyze this sentence. If you see, what is it beginning with? Ahmad. Is it fi'l or ism? It is ism. So it starts with a name Ahmad. Now we have ذهب. ذهب is a fi'l. So we know it's in a pure form and it represents huwa. So we need to identify who this huwa is. We just can't say he went. So we need to know who went. There is Ahmad, Mohammed. So that he represents somebody else. So in this sentence, that huwa represents Ahmad. But is that the fa'il of zahaba? Then we say no, that is not the fa'il. Because the fa'il cannot come before the action has been taken. That name is not called a fa'il. Here, this is called as a mubtada and this part is called a khabar. Let's see the same example in the other way. If I am telling ذهب أحمد إلى الجامعة. So what is the sentence begin with? ذهب, it's a fi'al. So this is jumla fi'aliyah. So what are we looking? So we look at this verb. It is a pure verb. There is nothing attached. So it represents huwa. So who does this huwa represents? In this sentence it represents Ahmad. So now we can call this Ahmad as a doer, is a fa'il, because it is coming after the fa'il, which means that the fa'il, that any object or subject to be called as a fa'il, it has to be always come after the fa'il, never before the fa'il. If it is before the fa'il, it becomes a mubtada, and if it is after the fa'il, if you see, then it is a fa'il. So what is the sign of the subject in this here? Sign of dhamma. So with dhamma we know that this is a marfu, and same thing in jumlatul fi'liyah. How do we know who is a fa'il? So when we see a sign of dhamma. So because the fa'il is always marfu. Let me give you another example so it gets clear in your mind. So if I'm telling Aminatu dhahabat. So Amina went to Jamia. So but Amina is coming before the fa'il, so this cannot be a fa'il. So this becomes a mubtada, and this part of the sentence, which is jumlatul fa'liyah, comes as a khabar. So dhahabat represents here, and that here goes to Amina, but that is not called a fa'il. So other sentence here, dhahabat Aminatu. So the sentence is beginning with a fa'al, and we know that if see ta'u thanis, that means here. So we're looking for here a feminine word, and we got aminatu, and that is a fa'il because it is coming after the verb. So that is called as a fa'il, and fa'il is always marfu, and the sign of marfu is dhamma. So the previous example, what we have done, daraba hamidun bilalan. So daraba means he hit. So in its pure form, it means huwa. So can we see the huwa who is representing here? So we can see sign of dhamma. So this huwa represents Hamid. So Hamid hit Bilal. So when we translate in English, we translate from fa'il and then translate the fa'il. Whereas when we write, always the fa'il is written first and then the fa'il. Never the fa'il written first and the fa'il. So this we got to remember, inshallah. As we practice, it will get more clear. So let's go back to our verbs and pronouns. So we have done so far. Let's take this verb kharaja. So kharaja, so how do we say? That means he left. So how do we say two people left? Kharaja. All those people left. Kharaju. This alif is a sign of the spelling rule. And here kharajat, she left, and huma kharajata. So coming to the next segment, which is from hunna. So people will be asking why we didn't do hunna altogether. Because hunna represents women, and hunna has got its own rule. So it behaves like a queen. So when the hunna comes, the sequence of verbs changes, because the pronoun hunna, it demands a certain thing. What does it demand? If you see hunna and all the pronouns which comes after it, there is a sound of noon sakin, it's called hunna, anta, antuma. So in the fa'al as well, and the verb, it demands that the sukoon has to come. So where do we get the sukoon here? The hunna will ask that the lam kalima, you know, the fa kalima, the ain kalima, the lam kalima, the last letter of the verb, it demands that it has to have the sukoon. So we have here, we no longer have kharaja. If you see here before hunna, the lam kalima that is in this verb ja, jim, has got fatha, 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 and you got dhamma here. There is a sound here. But here, from here, you get sukoon. And then we have this noon attached, which is a part of the verb. This shadda is because we got a noon sakin and plus noon with fatha, which is assimilated to form a shadda, hunna. So we got sukoon and a part of the verb. It's called kharajna. And all the verbs which, it's a pronouns which comes after it, like anta, then we have kharajta, and the jim will get a sukoon. Everything after hunna which comes, the last letter of the fa'al, that is a lam, will get a sukoon, and the part of the verb is attached to the, part of the pronoun is attached to the verb. So, antuma, so you guessed it, it is kharajtuma, kharajtuma, antum kharajtum, anti kharajti, antuma kharajtuma, antunna kharajtunna. So ana, we don't have a part of the pronoun ana attached to the verb. So we use what is called as a tu, a sign of tu. It's called kharaj tu, means ana. This tu represents ana. And nahnu as well, there is no part of the pronoun attached, but we use kharaj na, noon with mad, kharaj na. So this is how it works. So let's practice and get it registered. There's some more information which we need to give. If you see in this set of pronouns on the left here, so we got the pronouns here, but the physical part of pronoun is not attached to the verb. So we got alif musanna, this is waw, which is not a part of the pronoun. Ta is ta thanisi, is alif, alif of dual. It's not part of the huma, but it is alif of dual. So these, and what do we have on this alif? We got a sukoon here, because we're not producing the sound of the alif. We're not producing any sound of waw. we're not producing any sound of alif here. Because we're not producing any sound, and here we are producing the sound from the verb kharajna, anta, tuma, tum, anti. So the scholars have classified into two sets. This set of 5 pronouns in which the sound of the pronoun is not produced because there is a sukoon on all the verbs, and the one which produce the sound, as the one with the sukoon is called sakin pronouns, and one which the sound is produced is called mutaharrik pronouns. Let's do some example, inshallah. You see, jalasa, huwa jalasa, huma jalasa, hum jalasu, hiya jalasat, huma jalasata, hunna. Now comes hunna, the queen, and it demands the change, and the change is it becomes jalasna, and from down it becomes easy. Jalasta, jalastuma, antum jalastum, anti jalasti, antuma jalastuma, antunna jalastunna, ana jalastu. Just stop there. Jalastu, ana jalastu, nahnu jalasna. So let's do one more example. Raja'a, huwa raja'a, huma raja'a, hum raja'u, hiya raja'at, huma raja'ata, hunna raja'na, anta raja'ta, antuma raja'tuma, antum raja'tum, anti raja'ti, antuma raja'tuma, antunna raja'tunna, ana raja'tu, I return, and nahnu raja'na. Raja'a means return. So he returned, they both returned, all of them returned. She returned, they both returned, all of the women returned. You returned, you both returned, all of you returned, and so on and so forth. So just if you see raja'na and raja'na, it has to be pronounced properly. That's why I've marked here, just to make you aware that this is not with the dhamma, so we have to have a short sound, and here we need to have a long sound. Raja'na, raja'na. So there is a difference, so that has to be clear. So last example, dhahaba. Dhahaba means he went. Huma dhahaba, hum dhahabu, hiya dhahabat, huma dhahabata, hunna dhahabna, anta dhahabta, antuma dhahabtum, anti dhahabti, antuma dhahabtuma, antunna dhahabtunna, ana means I, dhahabtu, I went, nahnu, we went, dhahabna. So this is how. So what I say here is, here you start the car, slowly you put in first gear, dhahaba, dhahaba, dhahabu, and the second gear, dhahabat, dhahabata, and here you straight away go to fourth gear, dhahabna, and from dhahabna you take a highway, dhahabta, dhahabtuma, dhahabtum, dhahabti, dhahabtuma, dhahabtunna, dhahabtu, dhahabna. So it's easy, inshallah. And what is let's do some sentences now, inshallah. Dhahaba means he went. So let's do a sentence. Dhahabat tajiru ila dukkani. The tajir means businessman. So looking, dhahaba means he went. Who went? At-tajiru. So what should be the sign here? Has to be dhamma. And where did he go? Ila dukkani. Like in English, dhahaba means went. The verb went always comes with the preposition to. We always say I went to, he went to market, I went to school. Same thing in Arabic, we have zahaba always comes with ila. whenever you see ذهب, you will always see إلى. You need to keep in mind. Okay, and خرج will always come with min. This is what we're going to see in future sentences now, inshallah. So ذهب التاجر إلى الدكان. ذهب and إلى. So خرج will always come with min. So خرج حامد, who went out, left. Hamid left. من الغرفة, from room. و is ataf. ذهب means went. إلى الحمام, to the bathroom. خرج حامد من الغرفة. غرفة, we need to put the right signs. وذهب إلى الحمام. Hamid left the room, left from room and went to hammam. Let's do some example. ذهب الطالب, the student. If you see here, the fa'il is طالب. ذهب means it's in a pure form huwa. So huwa represents here طالب. So we say طالب is a fa'il. And what do we have? Which preposition do we use? ذهب always comes with إلى. So we use إلى. إلى المدير. So let's analyze this question. What does it say? So somebody, the action is al-mudarrisu min al-fasli. So min is here. So which action will come? Kharaja. Kharaja al-mudarrisu min al-fasli. Al-kitabu, which preposition should be used? Ala, ila, anta, fi. Al-kitabu ala al-maktabi. Here we got a fa'al here, but something has to come in front. So there has to be a mubtada now. So we're looking for a mubtada. So what can be mubtada here? It can be ذهب means huwa. So it has to be a male. A pronoun, we're looking for a pronoun, that is huwa. Huwa ذهب إلى الفصل. He went to the classroom. خرج المدرس, the teacher left from the classroom. So حقيبة, الكتاب dash حقيبة means حقيبة means bag. So we say the book is in the bag. So in is fi. We say الكتاب في الحقيبة. مدرس, مدرسة. So this is C, ta marbuta, feminine. So we need to have a feminine from here. So what we see here. So here, mudarrisatun. So here we see in blue, it's asking us for you to give a pronoun for masculine you. What is it? Masculine you. Anta. Anta minal yabani. You are from Japan. And here it's asking for feminine pronoun, and it is anti. Anti jalisatun. You are sitting. Let's do a little bit more practice, inshallah. So we got here a mubtada, and here there is a khabar for the mubtada. So at-talibu is sick. So we'll put maridun. We've already done this, just to revise you. Al-ummu, at home. So we need to have a, here the khabar is one word. Now we got to have a jar majroor. At home is al-ummu fil bayti. Al-Qur'anu is a noble book. So I say Kitabu Muqaddasun. So inshallah this will be sent to you as a homework, so you can practice and do this, inshallah. And let's do some question and answers so that we finish this chapter and we can go on to the next section. Anta minal Philippines. Are you from Philippines? Here we got the answer here. it is Inkaltara. Inkaltara means England. And say La Ana min Inkaltara. No, I am from Inkaltara. Min aina anta. Min means from. Aina means where. Anta means you. From where are you? The answer is here al-Hind. Say Ana min al-Hind. I am min al-Hind. I am from Hind, India. So min aina Hamidun. Answer is Yabanu. But if you see here al-Yabanu, but if it comes with harf jar, it becomes Yabani. Huwa, we use a pronoun huwa because already Hamidun been used, so we use a pronoun huwa. He is from Japan. Man min as-Sin. Who, man means who, min means from, as-Sin means China. Who is from China? So that's the answer, Khalidun. Say Khalidun min as-Sin. Aina dhahaba Abbasun. Where is Abbas going? So here you have home. You see Dhahaba. We can say just Dhahaba ilal bayt, which can be he went to house, or we can also say Dhahaba Abbasun. We can use the name of the fa'il and say Dhahaba Abbasun ilal bayt. So that is our lesson 4 from Madina book. So inshallah, in the next session we will start lesson number 5, which is dealing with idafa. It's another interesting rule. Write and practice and get stronger inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi